I've never been too good at farming.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Mr. Game You Watch. Today I'm going to be reviewing Far Cry New Dawn. Now, if you've ever played a Far Cry game, you know the general idea of the game is there's a big baddie that you got to help the little guy take down. Here with Far Cry New Dawn, it's no different. The big difference here is that this game is the first legitimate sequel to a Far Cry game. I know, there was Far Cry 2, 3, 4, 5. None of them was a sequel to the other. Neither one had anything to do with the other. But this one is a sequel to Far Cry 5. Now, if you haven't played Far Cry 5 yet, you might want to skip a little bit ahead. I'm going to throw down some spoilers here. Far Cry 5 starts off where you basically have to take down a cult. And Father Joseph Seed, who's the leader of the cult, he's really the big baddie. Now, if you played through the whole game, you know that basically the game ends where the apocalypse happens. Giant explosion, you end up in a bunker with the father. Now, fast forward 17 years, and you have Far Cry New Dawn. You are still in Hope County, Montana. Only this time, there are two twin sisters who are the leaders of a gang, basically, called the Highwaymen. Now, they are pretty much taking everything from everyone around and killing anyone who doesn't either give them what they want or doesn't want to join them. Much like Negan from The Walking Dead did, him and the Saviors, if you are a Walking Dead fan. One thing I hated, kind of liked, kind of hated, was the companion situation in these games. And it's the fact that there's 8 different ones to choose from, in New Dawn specifically. And it's helpful. It really is. And it's not really a situation where, this person will be best for this mission, this person will be better for this mission. It's kind of like, you can pretty much pick anybody that you just like, and really, they'll help you out, and any of them are honestly good. I wish it was where you could have more than one. Because especially when you drive vehicles and stuff, there's multiple seats, and even if the companion doesn't get in the seat with you, they actually will drive their own vehicle to the area you're going to in order to catch up to you. So it's like, why can't we have multiple? Like, why can't I have more than one person with me? I would play this game on freaking super hard difficulty if I could bring multiple people with me. Honestly, it'd just be great. But I guess that's just how they did things. I really hope to do change in the future. A lot has changed in this game compared to 5. Now, because obviously the apocalypse has happened, you pretty much have nothing. There's no actual, weapons, stuff like that. This game requires a lot of crafting in order to get weapons, which requires you to get, material and stuff. So this game is very much a looter-shooter type of game. Now, the whole crafting system, it's nice in a way, but, here, it's kind of and the worst part about it is you need a lot of material. A lot. Something as simple as, a pistol could cost you, for example, there was one I know I was looking at that cost, I think it was 400 titanium. You get, at a maximum, maybe 20 pieces of titanium per each one that you find, and the only way to find titanium in the game, that I have found anyways, the only way I was able to ever find it was from safes. And safes are only in locations like bunkers and areas that you need to take over from the Highwaymen, stuff like that. So it's kind of limited. Also, there's a tier system in the game. Pretty much is, first tier, second tier, third tier, and elite tier. The tiers pretty much are the difficulty, which makes no sense to me, because with enemies have a tier system just like the weapons do and vehicles do, and pretty much everything has a tier system in this game. But the game actually makes you pick a difficulty at the beginning. So why am I picking a difficulty if the difficulty and enemy just changes. Shouldn't there just be kind of one set difficulty? And the thing with weapons is like, just because it's a higher tier doesn't necessarily mean it's stronger. So you have to actually look at like things like the damage, the RPM, the magazine, like the size of it, in order to figure out whether it's good to get that weapon or if you should wait for something else or whatever. It's kind of crappy systems. Now, if you've played a Far Cry game, you know the games are pretty much mostly open world. For a game like this, it's nice. It really is. But if you're going to have it be open world, have a little more diversity. Diversity is one thing that Far Cry is not very well known for. It's a lot of the same missions and the same type of missions over and over again. Things like going down in bunkers, you know, secret bunkers to get items, stuff like that. And it's like over and over and over again. Change it up a little bit. Instead of having it being a bunker, I don't know, have it being a freaking spaceship or something. I really honestly don't know, but like change it up. Speaking of which, reminds me too, is that this game... Now, the areas you take from enemies, you need to take them in order to get ethanol. Ethanol helps you to upgrade your own camp. Upgrading your own camp is what gets you those higher tiers. So there's like an area for weapons, there's an area for health, there's an area for the garage, in order to get pretty much everything else in the game. But when you catch an area, it's only at basically a 1-star difficulty rating. So you can pretty much scavenge the area in order to fight again, only with more difficult guys, just so that way you can get more ethanol. And it's like, but why? Like, who wants to do the same exact mission 3 times in a row, just slightly harder? Really? Like, it wasn't really well thought out through with this. They did do, I'm not gonna lie, they did do some good things with this game. Now, one of the things is the fact of, like I said, the crafting system. Now, while I said some bad, there is some good with it. I enjoy the whole being able to craft stuff, collecting items, but they need to like cut back on like the amount of stuff you need to collect in order to, you know, create. Creating systems is great, especially because one of the weapons you can get, it's basically a crossbow that shoots saw blades. Like, how cool is that? I mean, and the great thing is, the saw blades bounce. So if you hit one guy, there's a chance you'll hit somebody else. So you can literally take out 2 enemies at the same time. It's absolutely wonderful. And of course, there are, you know, stronger versions of it compared to the tier 1 that you actually start the game off with. Now, if you've ever played Far Cry 5, you know that getting allies to help you out and stuff like that, they get in the car with you, blah, blah, blah. The only ones who wouldn't was the dog and the cougar. Well, the thing I absolutely loved about this game was they added it in so that way the dog gets in the car with you now. It's actually a motorcycle, okay, with a sidecar, and the dog will get in the sidecar. It's fantastic. Honestly, like, after beating the game, I pretty much just kind of cruised around, just going after guys and bunkers and stuff like that to collect items, just cruising around with a dog, you know, like together, and it was fun. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was pretty cool. Why they didn't do it before, I don't really understand, but I know a lot of people complained, which is probably why they did it now. Other than that, the other thing they do really well is their characters, especially the villains. The villains are always like these just cruel, evil, crazy, psychotic people, and in Far Cry New Dawn, it's literally no different. Like, the twins are absolutely insane. If you watch my gameplay video, this part, I believe it's almost towards the end of it, you'll see just how nuts they are. But I mean, like, if I really had to give this game a score overall, I'd probably say about a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's a pretty solid game. It gives you, you know, a good amount of time of gameplay. I mean, it's probably a good, like, 8, maybe 10 hours storyline. Then if you add all the extra stuff in, side missions, everything else, probably looking at 40 plus hours at least. I mean, if you want to do like, like 100% completion kind of deal. So, I mean, that's it for my review for this week. Next week, I'm going to be doing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So please look out for that. And if you, like I said before, if you have your own channel, drop me a line or just subscribe, and I will subscribe back. As long as you have a public channel, and I will catch everybody next week. All right, have a good one.
And my path ended here, in these very walls. I thought I had fulfilled my obligation to God. But he had one more thing to say to me.
Let the greatest music ever created fuel you as you send those fucks to disco heaven. Okay, here they come. I can't get mad at you, so damn adorable. Let off some steam, Bennett. Can't open the gates. It's too risky. Clear those bastards out. Open the gate. Saddle up. This isn't over yet. Here they come. Give them hell.
That was too close. Get going. Man the turret. I'll get us out of here. Let's go! Go! Go, go! Shit! They're coming right at us! Enemy right behind us! They're bearing down on us! Enemy right behind us! They're coming from the right! They're behind us! Enemy on our right! They're on the right! Enemy on our left! They're over on our left! Enemy right behind us! They're bearing down on us! They're behind us! Gotta lose them! I'm taking it off-road! I hope you'll come
What the hell?
It's them.
We need to get the kids inside. Come on. Oh no.
You better put those down. I don't want to scare the kids.
Carmina. Everything's gonna be okay.
I'm sorry, I just don't like it when people lie to little kids.
Why are you doing this?
Because of your hero here? Until you showed up, everything was running smoothly, but you've become a fucking problem. Taking from us, throwing everything out of balance.
I think we should just kill them.
No, hold on. We don't want any martyrs here. What we want is to make sure everyone understands that your help is a curse. Every person you help, every child you inspire, every settlement you build, we will take from you. And when you've got nothing, we'll come for you.
Don't drop it.
The only currency in this world is power. You made us look weak. That ends now! We're gonna take everything that you hold dear, starting with your home.
And if we can't take it, we'll break it.
Don't be here when we come back.
Come here, come here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on. It's okay. Now it's okay. It's okay. Let's go inside.